Hi everybody, my name is Jessica and this is my channel Plant Hooker. Now today I'm going to talk about my Raindrop Peperomia or rain plant or owl eye peperomia or coin leaf peperomia or its proper name Peperomia polybatra. Gorgeous plant, can grow about 8 inches to 24 inches tall. So (20 to 60 centimeters. Yes. No. Yes. And their spread can be between 6 to 16 inches. Like this guy is already about 16 inches, which is 16 to 40 centimeters? No, 20 to 40 centimeters. Yes. Maybe. My math is off today. Now, these guys are native to higher terrains and lower terrains because they're native to like Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. And they grow these tree-like stems too. So they often can get a little spindly growth. Like you'll notice like the back here, there aren't as many leaves because I have it facing the window this way. That's why this part is so much more prettier than the back part. Yeah. Now, I've had him for about 2 years, or almost 2 years. I think it'll be 2 years next month, or it's 2 years this month. I can't remember. Now I'll water him between every 6 to 12 days, because one, he's in terracotta, and when you have a terracotta pot, you have to water a little more often. If it was plastic or ceramic or glass or metal, you might want to water less often. Oh, and that cat that you just saw there, that was her first appearance on my videos. That's my heart cat, my ride or die. Tia is her name. I've had her, it'll be 16 years in July. And she's on the sick side. She's having issues with her thyroid, issues with her liver, muscle degenerative disease, and because of the only kind of thyroid medication that she could take or that would work for her thyroid, it's also causing her to have a little bit of heart issues as well. So my geriatric cat is holding on to the best that we can with the with her thyroid and liver medication that she's getting, or that she'll want to take, because sometimes she can be very difficult in getting to take medication. So where was I? I had something in my eye. Oh yes, because he's in terracotta. Like I said, I'll water between 6 to 12 days, depending on the weather and how much I have my heat on. If it was plastic, metal, or glass, or ceramic, you probably wouldn't, have longer intervals of watering than I do. Now, when it comes to fertilizer, I will fertilize him. Dirt. Sorry. I'm also battling thriss, so I saw a spot and it's like, is that dirt or a thriss? Because I found thriss on my Hawaiian spider plant and my Paulo, hey, don't eat that. And my parlor palm. No, you have cat grass. Sorry, I put a baby spider plant that I just propagated here for decoration, and they're like, oh, can we eat him? It's like, no, he's just there to make the background look pretty, but it's not working. And we will move him out of the way. So yeah, everybody has to bug me right now. Only now that I'm filming. I've been home from work since the last few hours and did a little bit of cleaning and nobody bugged me. All of a sudden when I'm doing something somewhat important, all of a sudden they all want attention. Demeter? Now when it comes to fertilizer, I'll fertilize him about once a month. And I use the Schultz all-purpose. You can also use the fertilizer that's strictly for green plants as well. Is a flowering species. Like his flowers will be very similar to all other peperomias. It's like the little long spiky rat tail that are, normally they're white or light green on him, but on my Shumi Red, where the parts that reverted back to green, they're coming in that white light green, and the parts that are still red, where the flowers are coming out of, they're red. So it's quite cool. You don't need to clean these guys. I clean mine because cat hair, and I'll probably only do that maybe once a year. Yes, Apollo, don't get your... Everybody wants attention. No. Does great, part sun, part shade. I have him in a west-facing window. So basically, right there, right behind me, is where I have this guy. And I need to remember to turn him more often. Can handle normal humidity. But I still miss this guy about once a week. Stop, Apollo. Just because, especially when I have the wood stove going. Not so much during the spring or summer, but fall and winter I will miss them because of the wood stove. Because I want him to stay pretty. Yeah. But the ideal temperatures for these guys are between 18 and 25 degrees Celsius. And if you live in a zone 10B, yes, 10B, he can go outside year round. But because I'm in a 5B, not so much. He can only go outside in our Cape Breton summers between July and August are the only times that he's actually quite happy. Now when it comes to soil, the best soil for these guys is a cocoquar or the peat moss or the sphagnum moss. I would lean more towards the cocoquar because it's a sustainable medium, because they grow coconuts, they rip the husk off, and you can use it in here. While peat moss and sphagnum moss, they decimate the areas where they come from, and I wouldn't suggest using those. Go with cocoquar, it's more environmentally friendly. Now, however, I don't have them in the cocoquar. Well, there is cocoquar in here, along with perlite and orchid bark. You can kind of see a little bit, because even though I've had him for 2 years, I've potted him 3 times. The first time was when I bought him, because his roots were coming out of the bottom, and I put him in a 6-inch pot, another terracotta, and then that one broke, because this time it wasn't me that dropped it. This time it was one of the cats that knocked it off of the plant stand here, which they had done it a few times before, so I kept having to replace the dirt. But the last time they did it, they broke the pot. It was in a different terracotta pot that my youngest had painted, and I wasn't home, I was at work, so my oldest went and grabbed this one and just put it back in and just left it, and swept up the dirt, and then texted me, "Mom, your plant broke." And when I got home, I added more dirt and fixed it up and whatnot. So yep, this time it wasn't my fault the pot broke, but it has happened. Now when it comes to pest, I haven't had that much issues with pests with this guy, surprisingly. Even though he's been around a lot of pest-ridden plants, like my rattlesnake, the peacock, the parlor palm, and my optusfolia, the thrists didn't seem to come around this guy like they do my other peperomia. But these guys are also plagued by fungus gnats and mealybugs. I've not had those issues with this guy with them types of bugs, so it's been perfect. Now, common problems with this guy is, well, the most common one is, of course, a rotting base. And normally that's caused by overwatering and root rot occurring. But because I water him so often and because of the terracotta, I have not had that issue yet, but I have heard of other people having that issue. Spindly growth, like this is a sign of spindly growth. What you see from the back here, and also where the leaves are far apart, that is a lack of light. Now that's low light, and in some cases, underwatering. Yeah. Another way to tell you're overwatering this guy is the leaves will yellow and you'll get like brown, black spots on it. Yeah. And the leaves will droop. Like droopy leaves for these guys can mean overwatering and underwatering. So it can go both ways. Yeah. Dandy little plant. I really highly suggest this plant for beginners because it has given me no trouble other than my cats constantly knocking it down, which is not the plant's fault. No, great plant. I got him actually from one of the big chain grocery stores on the island, Sobeys. And the pot, Dollarama, Dollar Store, any one of those places, you will find the really nice terracotta pots there. And I think that's it about this guy. Oh, where is it? Yes, another way to tell that you're underwatering, like I'm not underwatering now, but because I was underwatering, this plant grew in like this, where it's like reverted in, like it's curled in. That's a sign of underwatering, is when the new growth will curl inwards. You see it on this guy and the watermelon peperomia. Like the leaves will curl in when they're being underwatered. Now, because when this leaf was coming in and it was being underwatered, like it won't go back to being nice. Like say this guy, it'll stay like this until the leaf rejects it. Yeah. But no, I love my plant. So if you have any questions, shoot me a message. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, thumbs down. Everybody has a right to their opinion. Also, I'm just curious too, because I've noticed I have been getting some thumbs down. If you do feel like you need to give me a thumbs down, I'd really appreciate like a comment on why. Because then if it's like something super simple that I can easily fix, then I'll fix it. Or if you really, really like this video, subscribe. So as always, live long, plant on.